to the stream. I'm hoping Twitch soundtrack works, cause I assume it is, but I guess we'll be finding out when the VOD's posted. Today I'm just gonna be finishing off the sketch. Because I realized I wanted to add something, because I did it last night. And then I realized, hey, I want to add this thing. Why didn't I add this earlier? So here we are. Me adding something before I start doing the other stuff. Let's see, where do I want to put this? Here we go. Because this is specifically a Pride Month picture for some original characters of mine. There we go. That's better. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it on her. If I want to do something like what I did there. Let's do a sash. It goes around her middle. Woo! Also, yes, I do have different colors for each part of the sketch. I know that's a little weird and some people don't like that, but that's just how I do my sketching. Helps me focus on each layer of the sketch. Whether that be the main body and then the hair, then the clothing part, so on and so forth. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's good. That is not the brush. That was the that was the eraser for marker. There we go. Let's start with Sophie, which is this girl right here. Is that? Yeah, that's thick enough. I'm gonna turn down the opacity? Opacity. One day I'll pronounce words right on the first try. Woo! There we go. That's better. I want to thicken this line right here. Just a little bit. There we go. Probably doesn't look like that much of a difference, but makes me happy. So these two are part of a series that I'm currently in the middle of writing, actually. Sophie is the original main character, while Tassara here, not Tassara, Sara, right here is the other secondary main character. Who is, like, I've got lots of stories I have outlines for that I just need to actually sit down and write. It's just getting the motivation to do that. Like right now I'm in the middle of Sophie's first story, which is depressing as hell, but because that story has technically been in the works since 2014, so you can see why I might be very attached to these characters if I've been working on them for that long. I don't know, sometimes I'll be like, oh, it's only been like a year since I started this project. In reality, it's been like 3. And then you're like, oops, that sucks. Aren't we amazing? I want to do. There we go. Anyway, this is kind of a surprise stream. This wasn't pre-planned or anything. I'm just kind of here going wild. I say going wild. I don't really think this is going wild. There we go. I have another piece of art that if we finish this within like, I don't know, 3 hours, I'll probably work on that one too, but this is the one we're going to be focusing on today, because this is the one I actually drew the sketch for today. The other one was just one I have on hand. No, I don't like that. Yeah, that's a little better. There we go. So I'm using Twitch Soundtrack, or Soundtrack by Twitch, for the music today. Supposedly that means that it won't be saved into the VOD, and I'll be able to not worry about DMCA stuff, but that might not hold true. I don't know. Because sometimes when I record these VODs, it doesn't save the soundtrack music, but sometimes it does, and I'm assuming that's like a bug or something. Wait. Oh no! I've been accidentally doing some of the line art on this layer. That's okay, I can fix this. Like so. Cut. I cut the wrong layer. The mistakes. The overflow. Okay, there. There. Oh geez. Go all the way down to 1. There we go. This headset and looking down at my tablet is actually making my neck crink a little bit faster than it usually does. It's just what happens when you sit like this, though. Hello, hello. My sketch lines are sometimes very thick. And that makes my line art a little bit harder to do. There we go. I think that looks better. No, that's fine. I thought I might have to erase that a little bit, but it looks fine. Yeah, let's do her hand here. Actually, let's see. Yeah. Hands are such a pain to draw. I'm much better now than I used to be, but it's not saying a lot when my original hands were just cardboard cutouts, essentially. No. Let's do a little bit more. There we go, I like that. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Let's merge this down, because I haven't actually had to go over any other lines. This is why I sometimes do separate layers like this, is to go over. Okay, I'm actually gonna start from here. I did that wrong. This could take, the line art phase is honestly probably the longest one for me, because I could do the same line like 5 or 6 times before I'm like, yeah, okay, that looks good. Oof. I literally just popped my neck then. That hurt, actually. I'm actually gonna change this one to curl inward like that instead of out. Actually, no, wait. Okay, that's part of that one. Okay. Yeah, like so. Yeah. That was the wrong layer to merge. Wait, I messed this up. There we go. And put like that. No. No. Just making sure. Yeah, I didn't cross any other lines. Where is... Aha. Trying to find the top of that. There we go. It's better to make one long stroke than like 5 smaller ones, unless you're trying to do, you're trying to do like a sketchy line art look. In which case, power to you. You'll probably make it look far better than I ever could. Like sometimes I can pull off the sketchy look, but some other times it just does not look good when I do it. I don't know if it's just stroke of luck or just don't know how to do it in a way that looks good, you know? There we go. There. That one's done. Oh, not all of the hair is done. Let's finish this last part of the hair. And Sophie's hair is now complete after I fix this line. There you go. So that's the line art so far. I'm gonna have to do part of Sarah's leg here. There we go. Okay, I need to think maybe like this might be. Yeah, that looks decent. There. I generally don't recall if I said this at the start of the stream, but happy Pride Month, everyone. I hope wherever you are, you're having a good day. And I hope you have a great month. I really don't know how to properly convey my sentiments, if I'm totally honest, beyond just saying, hey, yeah, I hope you're having a good time. For someone who does writing, I'm not very good with words on the spot. I would not be a very good public speaker. Well, actually, that's not true. Most public speakers have, like, almost said sketches, but the actual word would be speeches. I also have no idea what these colors look like on your monitor, because my two monitors I use, my drawing tablet's monitor has a different color value to it than my other monitor does. So some of my art looks really nice on my drawing monitor, and then on my big screen it looks kind of washed out sometimes. And that's always a little frustrating for me, because I'll be like, oh, I thought that was a really nice saturated color, and now it looks like it has ash mixed into it. Like if it was a paint, someone mixed in ash with it. Which unless you intend for it to have ash in it, it's probably not a good color. Yeah, there we go. Sophie's almost done. Nice. Then we can get started on Sarah. Yeah, I think we can get started on Sarah now. I love when the line art comes together. And I also don't have to draw like 5 million little details. Cause I just finished a sticker design earlier, this last weekend, and it took me so long to do the line art part because they have individual feathers on wings, and wings are such a pain to draw. And they're even worse to line art. Unless you're one of those people who are just unnaturally good at it, in which case, send me some of your talent, your amazing ability to do feathers. I would like to partake. Yeah, I think I'll end it there. See, the fun fact about these characters is that Sophie here, when at the start of the stories, she's the one who has long hair. And Sarah over here is the one who has short hair. But as time goes on, they switch hair lengths, essentially. Not the same hairstyle at all, but they just end up with switching hair lengths eventually. And it was not a conscious choice on their part, it was just something that happened as the stories went on. Like, Sophie has to cut her hair because someone's using it as a like way to hold her down because she's being kidnapped. Because stories, you know, gotta have that conflict. So she cut her hair short to escape, and she did, but she lost like 3 feet of hair in the process. I don't know why I'm laughing about that. Like, if I spent years and years growing my hair out that long, I would probably be very upset to have to cut it all off like that. I guess it's because it's my fictional character, and that's why I'm laughing. Laugh at my character's pain. So just so everyone knows, because I figured it might be obvious because I don't have any credits on my page, but all of the artwork on both my YouTube channel and on this one is done by me. All of it is mine. So like my cute little frog icon, my future gifts that I'm making, because I'm actually going to try and make some gifts for subscribers and followers and stuff that's unique to my channel, my Twitch, and those are going to be fun. I've already got like part of one finished. I might, if I stream long enough and I finish both the pictures I have sketches for right now, I will show them on stream. Or I might just show them anyway. You know what? I could just show them now, actually. Where is it? Where did I put them? I must have saved them in a weird place because, oh, no. There it is. This is the one that I'm working on right now. Where's the top finished one? There it is. And then it's gonna be like, they fall on top of these smaller ones fall on top of the big guy. It's going to be my raid and host GIF. Anyway, back to the other one. I'm hoping you guys saw that. I didn't look up at my screen to see. But I would assume so. This is my first time streaming like this, so my art. Trying to make that look more like a hand. I think I failed. Okay, you know, I will mess around with that later and figure out how to make it look nice. Oh. I do have an art-only Twitter. I will post a link to that in the chat when the stream's over, because I'll be posting all this art there. There we go. Let's merge down. like this better. I like that one better. Like this. Nope. Don't like that. This is actually a little bit nerve-wracking for me. I don't usually have people watching me while I draw, so first time for everything. Okay, for a second I thought the music just totally stopped, and I was like, oh, what happened? But no. Okay, there we go. There we go. Make that line look a bit better. I usually do purple for Sarah over here. So I might, thinking about the colors I'm gonna do for Sophie, because I actually don't have colors for this outfit for Sarah. This is actually one I just barely made for her, this outfit design in this sketch. Whereas Sophie's is one that's existed for a little while now. So also the reason why I'm doing these two specifically for Pride Month, you will see. I mean, besides the obvious that they're dating, but I'll fix that line in a second. I just need to. Ugh. It's starting to heat up where I live. So my room is a lot hotter than it usually is. I might have to take my jacket off. Well, I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm wearing 2 layers of shirts right now. So I might have to take the top layer off so I don't die of heat. That would be the smart idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna. This long sleeve shirt is gonna kill me, is what it's gonna do. Yeah, it was that long sleeve shirt that was killing me. Don't know why I decided to wear a long sleeve shirt on June 1st. That seems like a terrible idea. So I'm actually thinking about streaming 14 again this week sometime. Well, Final Fantasy 14. I always just shorten it to 14 because I hate saying Final Fantasy every single time. Like, I really want to get a game capture card too, but that's gonna take time. Oh, I missed that line. I'll fix that in a second. Right there, yeah. That's when I looked off there. Let's fix this line super fast. There. And this is what it looks like so far with just the line art. I personally don't really like using just like plain black for my lines. It doesn't look natural, I guess would be the word. It just doesn't look right when I do it. Oh, hello. I missed the line on Sophie. Like a fool. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, there we go. Looks better. There we go. That looks good. So just to double check with chat, you guys can hear music right now, right? I'm not sure if y'all can hear it, so. Ah, jeez. But if the soundtrack by Twitch works properly and doesn't record on the VOD that saves on Twitch, then I'll probably just upload that to my YouTube channel and actually save it and do more art streams. Because at the moment, I'm trying to make sure this works nicely before I fully commit doing art streams more often. Right about here. Did I get all the lines? Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, say goodbye to the sketch layer. Goodbye. Now let's save this so we don't lose our almost 40 minutes of work. That would be really dumb. And let's get started on all the color layers. So first, so I do colors a little weird. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. Any more parts? Let's get the whites of the eyes done. for a second. I was like, did it not save that or something? Okay, and then Sophie's turn. It's like, where am I missing? Oh, I just saw a spot I missed lines on for Sophie. This is why you always check before you just do something. There. Very basic ear shape. Let's do Sarah's hair. There's a reason I do the hair like this, and it's because of art I saw a really long time ago. They did the art in solid like this. I just had the different sections sectioned off for, and then they would just shade it like normal. They just had it look like this. But then I was like, that'd be really cool to make it like a stained glass effect, which I will show you in a second. What I mean by stained glass effect. Did I get all her hair? Yes, I did. Okay. It's time for Sophie's hair. There. Whew. I actually forgot to color pick from another piece of art Sophie's eye color. Let's see. Open recent file. Where is it? There it is. There we go. Minnows, not Minnows. Minnows the other character on the other screen. I don't actually have a set color. Well, I don't have a color that I have set for Sarah's. It's just a brown color that changes some slightly with each book because she's going to a different world. But let's see. Okay, let's actually do Sophie's stuff first because she's the easiest. She's got the simplest color thing going on. Expand by. Now you'll get to see my totally my extremely strange way of coloring. Making sure there isn't any. Wait, I missed something right here. The end right here. This is why you gotta be careful about your coloring too. Bam. Deselect. What? Oh, I accidentally. Deselect. Let's save at this stage because we got some of the colors done. We're gonna have to figure out where the light source is. It's probably up here somewhere in the upper left corner of the screen. But who knows? Right, now you're gonna see what I meant earlier about making like stained glass look to the hair. I literally haven't seen anyone else do this type of thing, so I don't know if I'm just weird, but like doing it. Could just be being weird. That's the answer, everyone. I'm just a strange person. Bam. here. There we go. So let's mark out the area where the light is coming from, and also pick a color. It's an outdoor area, so it'll probably be more like this type of color. I just want to see what this looks like. It makes it brighter. Oh, actually, why am I doing that? I can just do that. Dodge, burn. Multiply. Multiply might be better for this case. So, so officially, oh wait, no. Sunlight's coming from like there. Actually, I want to quickly look at overlay. Yeah, no, that's not good at all. Yeah, like that. Actually, you know what? Let's fix that really fast. Like that. So. Well. Yeah. Oops. I just saw this mistake in the liner right here. There we go. Let's see. I don't want it too dark. Yeah, that, Yeah, like that. Add just a little more shadow in places. Yeah, that actually looks better. I like that a lot more. But I think actually, we might have to make this a little bit darker. I want to make this a little bit, just a touch. Yeah, that looks good. Now let's see what this looks like on the hair. First, let's do the actual... This is part of the reason why I haven't merged the color layers together yet, is so I can do things like this, where I can just clip shading layer over the individual color. Yeah, I put that color on that. You know, I'm gonna change the soundtrack really fast. Feeling like listening to something else for a little bit. Oh, let's do this. The indie soundtrack on Twitch. Just need something different for a little while. Is that a dog? That is indeed a dog. Hmm. Alright, let's see. Try overlay first. It's still brighter than. There we go. Alright, I know what I need to do next, which is do... This is a newer thing that I wanted to start doing, and then I forgot to do it on, like, literally everything after the first one I did it for. Let's move out. That. Let's do dodge and overlay. Overlay is less extreme. Let's do that. Right, there we go. And now we can merge it with the skin color layer. And we don't have to worry about messing that up anymore. Save it. That's the eye layer. We don't really need to do anything with that. Let's begin the clothing color layer time. Yeah, like that. There's this pink down here on the bottom. There's a creamy orange right about there. How do I get that creamy color? There, maybe? No, it's paler than that. this color. Yeah, like that. Let's make this a darker shade of pink. Actually, no, I was going to make that yellow. The armband was yellow. Is it that? No, that's way too dark. This. Yeah, I think it was like that. And then I just realized there's something I forgot to do on the face. Let's see if I get these colors right. Where's my phone? My phone actually has about the same color resolution as my tablet, so I rely on that a lot for checking colors. Let's do acrylic. No, right here. I can adjust colors in a second. A little bit higher. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the colors for that. It's a little paler. Where's my... Oh, there it is. That color. Yeah, I think that looks better. It should be very obvious what this is supposed to be now. Actually, no, this needs to be switched. There we go. Oh, it needs to be clipping. Why are indie songs so interestingly weird? There we go. And so it begins the reason why this is Pride Month art. That's that. Well, only the start of it, of course. Let's see. What was this? Oh, that's that. Let's fill in this color. And we can go back to doing the shading part. Part of the reason I did the shading for the hair and skin already is that I can minimize how many layers I have going on, because I don't like having like a million layers. Occupancy, expand. There we go. bring the colors back in. Alright, picking out colors for Sora is gonna be fun. That was a sarcastic fun. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna do the lovely shoulder cape here first. There we go. What was the next color? Ah, there it is. I'm going to just do that like that, because the next color is going to go over the top of that. Which is, I'm just going to do almost pure black. Because like I said, I don't really like pure blacks in my stuff, so. Okay, I messed that up. I forgot to do a new layer. Why am I like this? There we go. Straight overlay. Nope, still not. Yeah, I think that's good. No. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Oh, I forgot this spot right here. I gotta turn off my phone alarm before it goes off again while I'm streaming. What if I did overlay with this one? Okay, that one doesn't actually look that bad. Yeah, I like that. Next is our lovely little armband. Nah. Alright. Let's try overlay first. Well, that doesn't look bad either. About there, yeah. So this one I might have to do multiply for. Overlay just looks weird on that one now. We're gonna have to do multiply on that one. Actually, no, let's do burn. I wanted to click burn, thank you. Yeesh. Yeesh. Switch it to multiply. No, I think I might actually go with multiply this time. I was thinking about doing burn, but no. Okay. We just need to really color one more thing on Sophie and she's good and done. And then we can get started on Sarah. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the fill-in thing. I'm just gonna wait. There we go. That one doesn't have any shading because I decided no. That's a kit. I'm joking. I accidentally merged it down too fast. Because it's supposed to be metal, so I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a sheen. Yeah, like so. Actually, I like dodge better. There we go. Okay. Sophie is officially finished. So, trying to think what we should do for our lovely Sarah. First, we should probably do the main color, and then we can pick from there. But her main shirt is... I just realized I forgot to put on the other side of her jacket on this end. Right here. And right here. Nope. There we go. There we go. Problem fixed. So her main color is gonna be this nice pink lavender color. Pink lavender, purple lavender. Why did I say pink? I'm genuinely not sure what I should do. You know what I'll do in the meantime while I try to figure out what we'll do for the rest of her is we will do the sash. I'm not, what is the current? Why are there so many different lesbian flags? I don't know which one is... there's like 5 of them glaring at me and I don't know which one is supposed to be... I'm going to go with the simpler one because I don't know. I'm just sitting here going, which one's which? So if I'm wrong, I'm very sorry. Deselect. Okay, man, leaning over is really messing up my neck. Let's see here. Maybe right about here-ish? No, maybe a little higher. Okay, I hope that's the right. Hello. I am probably doing the wrong color. I feel bad already. Right here. There we go. Let's go a little bit higher. That is not the right color. Let's... yeah, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm agonizing over colors right now, so... here? I did it on the wrong layer. You know, I will adjust the hue after I have all the colors on. Then I'll start messing around with the hue again. There we go. Yeah, happy Pride Month! Blah, 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 blah. Why am I like this? Stumbling over my words like a fool, and I just erased the wrong layer. Stumbling over my words like a fool. Yeah, actually. Thank you for calling me a fool. No, I'm kidding. I don't mind it. Okay, well, what are the top two colors of the flag again? There we go. Yeah, I will get that right. There we go. I may not be a fool, but sometimes I feel like I am one. Like, I do something very silly and I'm like, oh, well, that was foolish. Maybe it means I'm not actually a fool, but like, anyone can do something that's kind of foolish. Yeah, I'm gonna fix this hue in a second. I think it actually looks very nice. I'm actually kind of happy with that sash. I am going to adjust the hue a little bit there, give it a little more saturation. Yeah, like that. That's better. Ah, let's erase that bit right there. Yeah, okay, there we go. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do for the rest of Sarah's colors. This is what I get for not picking the color palette before I start. Let's see. Let's just look up a color complementary thing. I think it's like gold for purple, but I might be wrong. So purple complementary color. Yeah, it's like yellow, gold are like the opposite color. Oh jeez. So the colors that were suggested were the characters. They're my original characters, Sophie and Sarah. It's the I can't zoom in on it's the name right here. I don't know if you can see it very well. Sophie's got a full name, Sarah doesn't have one yet, but they're my original characters. So for a story I'm writing that's still in first draft stage, essentially. So there's no color on this one. So let's do a nice gray, a nice purpley gray. Maybe right a little bit darker. Maybe I'll make the inside of the hood white. Give it a bit of contrast. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea. That's the white, and this is the choker. Oh, Sarah is the blonde right here. And this is Sophie with the red hair. Sorry, I should have explained that when I was saying their names, huh? Sorry about that. I think I'll use green as an accent color. Yeah, they are. Sophie here, I haven't outright stated it yet, but she's trans, which is why she's got the trans flags. Like, so Sarah here has the lesbian flag because she's a lesbian. Sophie here is trans and also asexual. which is why she has the ace flag here. I want the flags that they had on them to actually be part of their identities. So and not like just I don't know. I don't know why I was going just right. Let's get some green in here. Maybe greeny yellow. Right there. Accent colors. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. I'm gonna make her shorts beige. Yeah, in the story they're part of, they eventually get into they start dating, these two. So look, that was for the necklace. Sorry, my throat's a little like bleh right now because I actually haven't drunk any water in like an hour and a half, and I should probably do that right now. Okay, that was actually a good idea. My throat no longer hates me. Let's see, did I fill in all the colors? No, I have not. Obviously, I need to do the mouth area, but I was going to do a little bit of... She's male to female. So she's a she-her. And she does not have... Sophie is the name she goes by now, not her old name. I didn't actually ever pick an old name for her because while I was writing her, she just kind of became trans without me really noticing, I guess. I don't know. It just became a character trait of hers over the years. It just kind of happened. And it's like, well, this is the way it is. I have no control. My characters just go, yeah, this is me now. And I go, yeah, okay. Whatever you say, I will just believe whatever you say. Boo. Let's see, is that all the color? Yes! Okay, we got all the colors in. Now we just need to make sure that there's no, like... If you zoom in really close, you can see, like, a very small white line. Which is why I'm about to do a thing I'm about to do. But... Where's my gray hoodie? Here it is. I forgot. A small little section right there. Let's see. So I'm going to go up like this. Wait, where are the brown eyes? Where's the layer with the brown eyes? Oh no, I put them on the same... Me? Yeah, I am. I've actually been dating another woman, for 3.5 years-ish. We've been dating since 2018? No, yes. It was 2018. For a moment I was like, no wait, years are fun. It's like, it feels like it should still be 2020, but nope, it's 2021, guys. And it's halfway to 2022. Unfortunately, my girlfriend is in another country right now, so I can't go see her because the ocean is in my way. Oh shoot, I just realized what I did. There we go. I fixed my minor mistake there. It's fine, I'll just fight Poseidon for the right to see my girlfriend. It's okay. It's fine. I mean, your username startled me just a little bit, but like, to each their own. And I don't mind answering questions. Otherwise, I'll just be sitting here talking about how I'm agonizing over the colors. Ah, my knee. Okay, actually, I think I need to take a moment to stand up because my knee's starting to hurt, and I have been streaming for almost an hour and a half, so I'll be just right back. Just like, give me 10 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. My setup is kind of a mess. I've mentioned it before on other streams, but I'm essentially sitting in a beanbag with my tablet on my lap. It's not the best setup in the world, but it's what I've got, so gotta live with it. I'm gonna do the eyes really fast, just because they're extremely easy to do. Okay. There we go. No. It was probably not. It probably wasn't that long. I just said give me 10 minutes, just in case. In case I need to go not lay down, but like sit down and do like those stretches where you like stretch your legs out in front of you, stretch your arms in front of you so you can touch your toes. But I ended up only needing to do ones where I stretch, like those really basic ones where you like bend one knee and stretch out the other one straight in front of you while you're standing up. I just needed to do that and my knees felt better. Also, I've been told that I like to exaggerate my time a lot by accident. So that's like I intentionally do. It's just like growing up, I felt the intense urge to be like, I need to give myself extra time so people don't get angry at me. Isn't childhood trauma fun? I didn't want to do that with the brush. I wanted to do it with marker. What was I doing? little bit bigger. Yeah, I like that. Now her eyes look like they're alive. Did I fill in? It's like occupancy. No, I have not done the hair. Done my thing with the hair. Let's check my occupancy, expand. I did the wrong layer. And then I did the wrong color. Wow. Why am I like this? There we go. Might change. I haven't listened to this playlist on Soundtracks by Twitch for like a good 40 minutes. I think it's time to switch to the pop soundtrack. And then we'll switch back to classic if we haven't finished the art yet by then. Let's see, where's the next color? Okay, time to do my fun time hair thing. I don't know how to describe it. Stained glassingifying? That is absolutely not a word. Right about there. I hit the line. Right there. Right there. Yeah, that looks good. Here. Here. And here. Yeah, there we go. Hair is now complete. Alright, and let's begin the shading process. Start with the skin tone shading. So let's see how it's like that. Kinda looks better actually than what I was doing before. Each hand. God, I love shading hands. Just realized something I did with the skin right here. It's a spot. There we go. Let's see. Is this really a pop song? This is not what I would immediately think of when I think of pop. That's not a bad thing, I'm just... I'm gonna do this. And then right here. There we go. Yeah. Let's try overlay first. Yeah, no, I don't. Let's bring up... Yeah, that looks okay. Ow! I just rolled my head to try and see if I could make my neck feel a bit better because I'm leaning over, but my neck just popped like hard and it hurt. Popped like a glow stick is what it did. See. There we go. Yes. Uh, there we go. I messed that up a little bit on that shading. Yeah, I'm almost hit the 2-hour mark, which means, essentially if we don't finish this before I hit 3 hours, I won't get started on my next... because I have another sketch that I'm sitting on. Well, not actually sitting on, but that I have available to work on. We could probably we might be able to get the line art done. It's just I got things things to plan, things to do with friends. Well, not. By things to do, I mean like playing games online with friends. Which maybe we'll stream that. I don't know. Depends on how many of my friends are able to make it. And what game we end up playing. Because we got loads of games to play that all of us do. And I still have Final Fantasy XIV as an option later. Let's see. I think overlay would look okay. Let's try burn. Actually, yeah, I like burn a little bit more. Let's merge that down. Oh, what? There it goes. I don't know why it didn't merge down. Alright, have I have not. Okay, so next part is fill in all of the colors. I'm actually really satisfied with the colors for Sarah. I wasn't sure if I would like them, but I do. There we go. Look, that was weird. And yeah, green did end up looking good with this. I mean, complementary colors, obviously, but sometimes certain shades of green just don't look good. No matter what you do. Expand. There it goes. Very confused. It's like occupancy. Okay, and ugh. My neck is driving me nuts. And then there. So the colors are finished. I just need to finish shading. And then we gotta do the background. I have an idea for what I'm gonna do for that. But wow, Twitch. Okay, put the shading there. No, I don't like that part. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then straight overlay. I actually like that shading. Let's do that. Kind of a warm shadow. There we go. There we go. Oh wait. There we go. Try overlay. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Oh, that's the white. The white part of the inside of the hood. That I forgot that I had. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. Have the very... like that. Overlay. What do? There we go. Oh boy. There we go. Come on. You know, I haven't saved in a while. I need to save this. It'd be really bad if my program decided to crash and I lost all of the colors. That would just make me sad. Actually, no, wait. This one. So this is actually... to make it less dark. Like the opposite of shading. It's lights instead. This is the beads. I might do 2 layers of shading on this one. One for the... like this. And then... yeah, like that. And then... second overlay layer like that. Yeah, like that. Let's put a little bit. Let's actually make this like that. Yeah, I like that. Back to marker. We're almost close. We're almost there. inside of the pants. Yeah. What is this? Oh, it's the little gold piece. I'm not gonna bother shading that. I think I'm just gonna leave that the way it is. It's not what I wanted to do. Oh, that's the whites. Okay, and then now we just need to shade our little lesbian flag sash. And we'll be good. Let's overlay. I'm gonna do burn this time, like I did with the other Pride. Alright, and then there! Colors are done! Let's all clap. Alright, and that means we just need to work on the background now. I know what I want to do, so there's that at least. But, sorry, I'm jamming out a little bit too much. Let's start with a white background, like so. That is the wrong thing. Round colors, round corners is what I wanted. So, bam. Okay, let's make it really big. There's a reason I'm doing it these colors. You'll see in a minute. Orange, like right here. No, let's... Nope. Do green. Teal. Dark blue. And purple. Yeah, no, we gotta do something else. I want the colors to actually on that normal. Let's unclip that and then see, I want to try if I just cut. I go inverse, cut like that. Yeah, this looks good. But, so I want to do really fast. That's the wrong thing. Inverse. So we're almost done, and it isn't quite 2 hours yet, so we can start working on that other sketch I did once I finish this. Yeah. Right. Once the stream's over, I'll be posting this art specifically. Just know something I made a mistake on. I'll be posting this to my art Twitter, which I'll be posting a link to at the end of the stream as well. Alright. So, I'll be posting this on my art Twitter, like I said. I'll also be posting a link to that at the end of the stream in the chat. So, let's open up the other thing. I wanted to do this last Sunday, but I did the sketch for it and then I just forgot to finish it. Where the heck is it? Did I accidentally save it in the wrong place again? it is. I did save it in the wrong place because I'm a complete and utter fool. Back to 20. Right, so I will do line art for this, and if I finish that, I will start doing flats, but the color flats, I might do a little bit thicker line for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit thicker line. Ugh. Sorry, I'm kind of jamming out a little bit to the music. I don't really have much to say about this one besides I drew it on Sunday and then I didn't finish it, which is why I'm doing the line art now. I'll probably finish it later in the week if I don't do the flats today. Alright, there we go. There we go. we go. I was trying to zoom out. Ooh. There we go. What? I accidentally duplicated that layer. There we go. Ugh. Yeah, stretch. Stretching's good for you guys. There we go. Dress shoes are the worst. Hate drawing them. Yet I keep making characters that are businessmen who wear suits. I have no idea what he was wearing during MCC 14. This is like the best I could think of just by looking at his outfit. Well, his outfit, his skin. There we go. Can't believe I saved this in the wrong spot. I can't believe me. Ah, jeez. Are people already saying fireworks off? I just heard some fireworks go off outside my house, and I'm just like, Or at least it sounds like fireworks. Sound like the pop that fireworks make when they go off. Hiccups. Ah, jeez. Jeez. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, this song is actually driving me a little nuts. Give me a hot second. Where is... I'm just going to switch back to classical for the moment. Something about that song that was driving me nuts, and I don't know what it was. Whatever it was starting to make my head hurt, like headache type head hurt. Not like, oh, my neck hurts. There we go. Oh. So the other day, they actually finished the Kingdom Hearts Unchained storyline on, which is the mobile game for Kingdom Hearts, and unfortunately has actual canon story ramifications. I, mm, I'm not very happy with how that game has ended. Like, I would much rather your character had absolutely zero bearing on future plot points than what they ended up doing with the character. I'm not going to get into it here because that's technically still spoilers, as the official English has not come out yet. I could tell you now that I was not happy watching that translated ending of the Japanese version. I was just like, why would you do this? It's like one of those cases where it feels like they went, oh, the fandom guessed what we were doing with the story, and now we're making something up. Because how dare they be clever enough to figure out what we were doing with the story, as if that's a bad thing. I'm going to tell you this now, guys. When you're writing a story, you want it to be coherent enough that the people who are engaging in the story can figure out your story. Like, if they go, oh, that was cool, I don't know what happened though, then that's actually a failing on your part as a writer. Like, I've never had an issue with understanding the Kingdom Hearts story until Kingdom Hearts Cheese ending. I don't understand what's going on. There's lots of Dream Eaters everywhere. There's things happening, and they introduced loads of plot points that kind of felt pointless. And also, like, extremely last minute, because they're like, hey, this is an extremely important plot point, but we're introducing it in the finale of the game. Because that's what we should be doing, how we should be doing this. That's my main issue with how Chi has been handled, is just, it feels extremely mishandled to me. Like, I don't know, a lot of the plot points, they come off as things I might have been okay with if they hadn't been suddenly sprung on us last minute at the end of the game. Like, if there was some sort of build-up that was, like, longer than 10 seconds. That's something that's very important to remember. You need to let your reader, watcher, whoever, person engaging in your content, your audience, understand what is going on. Otherwise, they're not going to enjoy it. That's why I stop and explain what I'm doing sometimes when I'm doing things, or I repeat myself. It might be annoying to, like, people who are already here, but I rather people who, like, showed up later can be like, oh, so that's what's going on. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know, I just rather be accessible instead of so incoherent that people need a dictionary, a wikia, and a thesaurus to understand what's going on in my head. Does that make any sense? That almost felt like it was incoherent to me. I also want people to know, I know there's just, like, this fun thing going on for the past few years that happy endings are boring and nobody likes a happy ending, and it's like, that's actually not true. I'm going to tell you now, if you're reading a story that's not labeled as a tragedy, but a lot of tragic stuff is happening, and it just ends badly for all the characters. Like, nobody comes out of it happy. Not even the bad guys. That's not a good thing. Like, especially if you're not labeling it as a tragedy, because that's what a tragedy is, guys. It's a story where not even the bad guy really gets what they want in the end. I don't know how to draw crossbows. Let me live. I had to use a reference for this crossbow. I still don't entirely like it. Like, okay, so part of the reason people did not like, or at least people I knew didn't like, say Game of Thrones, is that they threw out tons and tons of plot relevant things in favor of doing some sort of shocking, terrible thing to the characters, because it was so predictable where we were going, and we wanted to do something that would shock the audience. And I'm going to tell you now, that's not what you want. You don't want your entire thing to be shock value. You don't want to build your brand on shock value. Because shock value does not last very long. Shock value dies quickly. And if you are doing shock value, don't do the stupid version of shock value where it's like, yes, there's all these heinous crimes happening, and it's all because of this reason and some despicable thing like child slavery or something, and it's like, why? You could have chosen anything, and you chose child slavery for your story. I don't know. I'm in camp. I like to do sad, angsty junk, but I like to ultimately give the characters a happy ending. I'm going to make my lines a little bit smaller for this last part. Like, they might go through some crap. Like Sophie and Sarah earlier, that I was drawing earlier, they go through some really traumatic stuff. Like the whole purpose in their stories is that they get summoned to other worlds to basically serve as some sort of like, think in Final Fantasy there's summons. It's sort of like that, except the character Sophie is the summon, and it's an indefinite summon until she fulfills her purpose she was summoned for, or her summoner breaks their pact. And that means some really terrible, heinous things happen. But, like, I always have a line that I don't go across, because I'm not comfortable with going across that line, you know? And furthermore, in the first few books, she's a teenager, and I don't want to do that to a teenager, even if she's a fictional one. So, I know. If she was an adult, would you do anything different? No. I would probably still want to give her a happy ending no matter what. Like, that's half the reason Sarah and Sophie end up together, is because I want them both to be happy. And when you're being summoned to other worlds at random with no control, that kind of ruins relationships that you could have, romantic ones. Because, like, what if you're on a date and you just get summoned and then you come back the next, like, because time doesn't pass in your world, only in the world you came from. I mean, you were summoned to. So when you return to your world, it'll be at the exact same point as when you left. Which is extremely awkward for you, because you could have just died, and your date is going to be like, why are you freaking out? Because you could randomly start flailing your arms in the middle of a restaurant. And, like, unless you tell them and they actually believe you're not crazy, can't really say, oh yeah, I get summoned to other worlds to help defend them and all that fun stuff. Yeah, who's gonna actually believe that unless they have that experience themselves? Exactly. No one's gonna believe that. But so yes, they end up together partially because they're like, oh yeah, you were literally the only other person who can understand what I'm going through and won't freak out at me if I do weird stuff at random. Like randomly start flailing your arms around because you just came back from being killed in the world you just got summoned to. So yeah, they have a happy place to go to no matter how to return to with each other, no matter what happens. Even if they didn't romantically get together, they would probably end up at least living together, and they'd be a package deal of, yeah, if either of us ever end up dating someone else, they would still end up being like a package deal. Like you'd have to take both of them. Sorry, deal with it. I'm almost done with this line art. And it's almost been 3 hours, so I might end up ending stream soon after I finish this line art. And you know what? I will actually post the link in the chat before I end stream, just so I can be sure it goes through. Because not all links... Oh, not all links always go through. Ugh. Right, how many lines left? Almost all of them. Right, yeah, that's good on those lines. Right, let's save that up so I never have to deal with those lines ever again. But alright, let me pull up my Twitch. Not my Twitch, my Twitter. So this is my art Twitch. Art Twitch. Why do I keep saying Twitch? Art Twitter. Oh, won't let me... give me 1 second. It's fighting me. Let's see here. Let's see. There it is. That is my art Twitter right there. It's only the art. You'll only find art there. That's pretty much it for me today. I might do another random stream of Final Fantasy XIV this week. But just assume that the next stream will be the finale for Kingdom Hearts, and which will be this Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard. And if you don't, and if the Final Fantasy XIV stream happens before then, I'll just remind everyone of that stream again during that one. And the next chill stream will, of course, be on Sunday. I'll be doing more Stardew Valley, maybe the entirety of summer. I don't know. We'll find out. But, yeah, that's it. Hope everyone has a good day or a good evening, no matter where they are. And I hope you all have a